Is it really possible for your average Magic the Gathering player to reach Mythic without spending a single penny? Today, we're going to put that to the test, starting with a fresh account and grinding the ranked ladder to see how many games it takes to reach the coveted Mythic rank. Hello everybody, my name is AJ, and welcome to day 22-23 of the free-to-play to Mythic Challenge. I, unfortunately, did not hit the record button on yesterday's gameplay. A super amateur mistake on my part, and missed out on a full day's worth of games recording. However, I went on a fat loss streak and went all the way back to the bottom of Diamond Tier 3, so I suppose it's not the worst thing in the world that you guys didn't have to sit through that. So what we're going to try and do today is make up as much progress as we can. Now, because I've missed a few days due to personal commitments throughout the month, for the final day, the 29th or the 30th, I need to check when the season ends, I plan to just do a marathon and play as many games as it takes to reach Mythic, bar, anything longer than like 5 or 6 hours. I'll cut that down, trim that up into a nice hour, 45-minute long video for you guys, and hopefully we'll still be able to reach Mythic by the end of this month. We won't fail the challenge. I think it's fair since I've missed out on probably 4 or 5 days. That's 4 or 5 hours of gameplay that I was not able to complete, so we'll do a big grind at the end of the day. However, if you guys would like to leave in the comments any matches that you think are noteworthy or exciting, as after we finish the climb, I'm going to do a video with detailing kind of the important parts of the climb, highlighting the climb for people who weren't fortunate enough to be able to watch through the entire series. So if you guys have any suggestions for games or clips that you think might be a great fit, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Now, all that rambling aside, we'll show you guys the deck list and we'll hop right into the ranked ladder. Here's the deck list we are running for today. I still feel pretty highly on this. Potentially a couple of extra Scavenging Oozes, especially since I've been playing against a lot of the graveyard decks recently, and that's really the best interaction I have against them. Worldsoul's Rage is a nice finisher with the extra land drops, but again, does feel sometimes like a bit of a win more card. The one of Terrasymbiosis has felt pretty nice pretty much every time I've had it. I think I really like this. Maybe I'd cut the Worldsoul's Rage, maybe I'd add some Scavenging Ooze, but outside of that, I'm pretty happy with this deck list, and I think it's pretty beginner-friendly too, to a lot of people. Without further ado, let's just hop right into the ranked ladder. Starting game number 1 with a very interesting hand. I don't hate the idea of it. We can get Bristly on curve. With untapped lands, there's lots of ways for us to find ways to get the Hydra in. We have Defend the Rider. We have the Worldsoul's Rage as a finisher for the Mossborn Hydra. This hand definitely has the potential to eke out a win. I am going to Escape Tunnel for... Well, actually, I was going to Escape Tunnel for red, but I'm realizing that's stupid since we don't actually have green. Wanted to Escape Tunnel for red, see if that changed the play at all, but hopefully should not impact too much. I really don't love the idea of playing this Llanowar Elves just to get killed, but it gives us a turn to play the Fabled Passage, and if the Llanowar Elves doesn't die, we can get the Hydra in with Defend the Rider protection on turn 3, which is great. Depends on if our opponent decides to take turn 2 to advance their board state, which it appears they do. So I will waste no time, and I will actually, in fact, grab a red mana here. I think having the kill spell for the aggro is definitely nice. We will play the Mossborn Hydra. Oh my goodness, that was unbelievably stupid. We have no green mana for Defend the Rider, and so the Hydra just gets kill spelled. Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievably frustrating. You shouldn't be making mistakes like that, especially at this point of the climb. But the Shelter by Ghosts actually doesn't feel too bad as interaction on the Llanowar Elves gets the Needlehead out of here, and while it's not ideal, it is at least a lifelinker, so we can get in for something to help us next turn. I'd like to play Bristly Bill, but I also would like to keep Defend the Rider up. I think it's fair to play Tifa Lockhart here. If they spend a whole turn killing the elves to get the Needlehead back, Worldsoul's Rage and Tifa Lockhart pair pretty well together. And the Nemesis is a blocker. Definitely makes sense. And I will actually Fabled Passage. Well, actually, I think Worldsoul's Rage might be enough to win us the game here. Because we can Worldsoul's Rage for 3. Get 3 more triggers, which will bring her to 32. And so that actually looks pretty good to me. I'll kill one of the Bastronauts just in case we're not able to do that. But really fortunate that we didn't lose the game because of our mistake there. That definitely is something that we should or could have done. Very, very fortunate win to start the day, and hopefully we will pull our heads out of our butt and start making some better plays. Here we are starting game number 2 on the draw. Very, again, similar hand. One I think I'm happy to keep. I like the turn of Llanowar Elves into Bristly Bill a lot more than I liked much of anything else. I like that a little bit less. Perhaps I should just escape tunnel and put Bill in on curve. We can Llanowar Elves and Shelter by Ghosts afterward if we really need to. That's honestly not the worst idea in the world. Especially against the Boros, we know that they have a lot of interaction. But I suppose if they steal Bristly Bill with a Shelter by Ghost, being able to get it back is nicer, since that is probably their main form of removal. I actually don't hate the idea of trading here, but I think getting Bill in early is important. Yes, let's get Bill in. And we'll get him out of Lightning Bolt range, give him the opportunity to survive a Lightning Strike, but I imagine he gets Shelter by Ghosted. Yeah. But we actually can just pay to get him back, which I have no problem with, I think. And we will actually have a protection spell on the Llanowar Elves, which is nice. I suppose I should have had him choose the target first, but... I don't love that they have Shock Mana available to them now. Don't like that one bit. I think this is still our best option. I mean, the Worldsoul's Rage is probably never going to stick around to find out. And we will in fact pay the ward cost. Well, I mean, obviously we pay the ward cost, but I think it's better to just get that out of the way than try to just take the Shelter by Ghost and have the Llanowar Elves up. They'd have to spend their entire turn 4 just to get the Ember Heart back, which I don't love, but I don't hate either. I actually can't pay to clear the Llanowar Elves, which is nice. And I do think the Elves will start getting us some life gain back. Fabled Passage for red, we pay 1, we can pay the ward cost and get Bill back. I think again that's probably the right choice. So we'll pay the ward. And we'll grab our Fabled Passage. And hopefully we can start growing a pretty decent board next turn. Really happy with Defend the Rider. Terramorphic Expanse on Tifa. But I think we'll wait to swing with her. Actually, we can get her to 4 and get 2 doubles and make her 16, which isn't quite enough to push for a win. But any land off the top is. Defend the Rider really is a great card to have in this position. We can actually sack the Fabled Passage and double her counters next turn, which technically is another double of her power. I suppose we don't even have to do that because we can just use his ability with the Llanowar Elves. Yeah, we can just Fabled Passage for green right away, so we have Defend the Rider mana up. Oh wow, that's really tough. I suppose that actually is maybe something that I should have seen. Yeah, I suppose it's probably a life total I should have seen coming. But would I have really wanted to send in the Chocobo? I don't know if I would have made that block. I mean, it's likely they have it in the deck. They wouldn't be tanking so long if they had it. I don't understand the tank if they have the Boros Charm. So I don't think I would have made that block, but definitely important to think about our life total ranges and where we're at for sure. Here we are in game number 3 on the draw again. I like this hand a lot. I think it's a decent hand. I think this is good against most decks. It's possible I get proven wrong, but I don't hate this hand at all. It feels pretty good. It feels pretty fast. Why don't we Chocobo? And we will go ahead and choose to get rid of that Beast Binder. I don't believe they're going to run 1-mana interaction in what looks to be Simic. I would anticipate this is the Simic, excuse me, Omniscience combo. Maybe? Actually not quite sure. Here I will Tifa Lockhart. I'll just slap down a forest. We have Defend the Rider up. We can Fabled Passage next turn and Worldsoul's Rage to kill something if we need to. So I definitely don't hate the position we're in. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world at all. I'm okay with him finding Llanowar Elves off the top. Siren could be scary, but I think it's better for, yeah, I think it's better for our opponent as a blocker, and they see that. I suppose I'll just Traveling Chocobo and try and win. I think that is the correct choice. I guess it gets counterspelled. Not thinking very well tonight, for sure. Definitely making some misplays, and that's unfortunate, because this is absolutely not the time to be doing that. You know, this... Wow, that's a really nice counterspell, actually. Like, it's a little bit... I don't want to say gimmicky, but, like, I see why it could be bad. But that's definitely not a bad card at all. I am not going to... Actually, I will swing with the Chocobo, because I'm actually perfectly happy if they think, oh, I can trade here to Defend the Rider and kill the Siren. I think I saved this land drop for another turn, because they could have double blocked there, but I think Defend the Rider to kill that Siren is decent. They definitely don't have a kill spell, I think. Let's see. Opponent waits it out again. It's a choice. We'd only have one land in the graveyard, but can actually grow the Chocobo pretty big. I guess we could have done that in combat, seen if they wanted to let our cards through, because we can Worldsoul's Rage for 4. Okay. And there's no way I'm gonna let them... Well, I might actually let them do that to Tifa. Yeah, I actually might be okay with them doing that to Tifa. Yeah, I think I can get over myself. I don't see any reason why they would figure out they can double block now. So put another stun counter on Tifa. It's like it's okay, I understand, but I mean we will give you indestructible. We will clear out 2 of these threats. And then I will Worldsoul's Rage. No, that's the wrong target. I mean, AJ. Tonight is not my night. Yeah, I don't know, today's just not the day. That's an interesting choice. They have to chump block with the Gene Pollinator now. So we actually can swing with the Elves for a little bit of damage. Well, yeah, I guess they don't have to chump block with the Gene Pollinator. They should, but they don't have to. Very fortunate surrender from our opponent. Gets us back in the positive for today. Now we need to make a lot of progress today, so let's hope for some aggro and some very good games for us. Try and keep a positive attitude, get our heads back on straight, and we will keep it pushing. On the draw again, unfortunately, but doubly Bristly Bill, a fetch land, and some of our interaction pieces makes me feel okay. This is definitely not the most explosive hand we've ever seen, but it's definitely not one that I hate either. I think I want to get our white mana in ASAP. Yeah, we definitely want Shelter by Ghosts. I think being on the draw against the Boros aggro is just really, really tough. I don't know how much we can do about it. But I mean, we'll grab our white mana. We will try our best to see what we can do. I really don't love top decking more lands, but I can't complain too much about it. Definitely prefer having land drops to not having land drops. Fortunate enough to be able to Bristly Bill and land drop next turn. Gets into 3 power. It's better blocker for the Hired Claw. Better out of lightning strike range, or lightning bolt range, not lightning strike range. I worry about a Shelter by Ghosts for sure. Mossborn Hydra is a nice draw. I'll attest to that for sure. Can actually get it out of most kill spell range, bar Shelter by Ghosts soon. We're going to 5. They can get these to be 4 damage and I lose, and so yeah, like I don't want to chump block the Bristly Bill. I think that that's stupid. I don't think I ever win like that. I think I need to suck it up and deal with it. Let them pay, so I go to 1. And then Shelter by Ghosts away. Get some life. Yeah, I don't think there's much we can do about that game. I did ask for aggro, so that is on me, but it's an unfortunate loss. Puts us back where we started. Being on the draw against that deck is really hard. And we died on turn 3, or turn 4, I should say, but it's still really tough. But we'll get back into it for game number 5. We are on the draw again, unfortunately, but we have a pretty nice hand. Again, we have the Shelter by Ghosts. We have some nice turn 1 plays. Definitely do not have a distaste for the hand we have. Opponent doesn't appear to have colored mana just yet, so we're out of no counter spells. Well, mostly no counter spells. The hard counter spell most of them are running is 2 blue pips, and No More Lies is Azorius. Black based though. Interesting. I guess we'll drop the Traveling Chocobo, and I actually don't detest the idea of just waiting a turn on it. There's no desperate need to play it this turn, and I worry it just gets kill spelled and I'm out of nothing. I can't get any value out of it this turn. I'd rather wait until I can maybe actually get a card off the top with it. Not this turn, but that is okay. Still a really big Chocobo. Traveling Chocobo next turn. We get 4 more land drops is nice, and we actually are in lethal range. They have a lot of mana available. Okay, that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Actually, we'll play the Mossborn Hydra. They have a kill spell, don't they? Yeah. I was gonna say, they don't have interaction, but they do once I have a creature, so they've got the kill spell in hand. Playing against another just mono black removal heavy. But we can actually Shelter by Ghosts away the Virtue of Persistence, which is really nice. Gives a Chocobo a little bit of ward too, which is nice. We actually could keep that Shelter by Ghosts, which I don't hate. Get up to ward 6 potentially, but I mean, they can pay for it, I think. That's unfortunate. Definitely send away the Shelter by Ghosts then. Sure, we'll send this away. We'll grab, well, we have red in hand. Mossborn Hydra is actually a really great card to find. So we'll Shelter by Ghost, probably the... Well, actually, I might as well grab the Papa's Pillow Trick, because the Persistence ain't doing too much right now. There's no upkeep. They have another kill spell, that sucks. They do, which sucks. I don't know what we do into this matchup. I mean, we just get kill spelled over and over and over again. Definitely brutal. And we do not have the most. That's nowhere near the kind of top deck we need. And we get Ugin now too, huh?
And the master eye will not otherwise heed my advice.
That's not it either. That's a very disappointing game. Luckily, we don't lose a pip for it. Although, unfortunately, it appears we were low enough on the Diamond Tier 3 that they decided to boot us down. That is a disappointing surprise, to say the least. But the climb is not over, the day has not been lost, and we can still win some games and try and get some progress back in the right direction. Here we are getting into game number 6. Similar hand, it feels very fast and should be an okay hand. Llanowar Elves turn 1, Tifa Lockhart turn 2, potentially even the Traveling Chocobo turn 2. We have 2 draws to find an untapped land. Top decking another tapped land isn't what I want to see, but it's not the end of the world. Is this 4-color whatever. I'm actually okay if that's just counterspelled or killspelled, to be completely frank. I don't particularly have a problem with it. I'm okay with that. We'll crack it for white, and we can get the Chocobo in. Maybe find something off the top. I suppose we should have let them choose their stock-up cards before we grabbed our white mana. Could actually choose to not grab the white, so they change their stock-up decision, but I don't know how impactful that is in Diamond 3. Well, I suppose the right choice is to get the Chocobo in and, yeah, grab one of these nasty little lands off the top. Love to see a Hydra with 3 drops and a Chocobo. I mean, that's would be an unbelievable amount of value. Though depending on what they play, I actually don't hate the idea of... Well, no, because I want to draw the Hydra, so I don't want to crack the Fabled Passage at all. So we'll attempt to slam a Hydra. It may or may not happen. I don't love the idea of the Shelter by Ghost on top, but I don't hate it either. Okay, that's great. It's more than a little frustrating, but it's okay. Grab some more mana and try our best. I guess I'll play a Fabled Passage in case we get losted. We can pay for it, which would be nice. There's really not much protection we can do here. They have a clear kill spell available to them. But we can try and Fabled Passage's interaction. At least get a counter on whatever they don't hit. Might just get board wiped, which would suck. We in fact did get board wiped. And Mana Dork isn't exactly what we want to see off the top, but it's not the end of the world either. Actually no, that definitely is the end of the world. That's not what we want to see in the slightest. And a land is not a great top deck either. Yeah, well... I don't see a way we recover from this. Unbelievably frustrating. Just falling through Diamond. It's very hard to stay off of tilt. I mean, this is probably the most tilted I think I've ever been in this climb. But take a break, get our heads back on straight, and we'll see you guys again for game number 7. It's a hand on the draw again, but one that's keepable. Super wide hand for this black deck that I'm sure will have a multitude of kill spells. If they have 4 kill spells, that is great for them. They have to take Shelter by Ghost here. If they don't, yeah, I guess I get whatever card back. Play the Chocobo. We will Fabled Passage in case we find another white. Actually, we'll grab our extra damage. Okay, I'll grab this in case we find a Shelter by Ghost. But we'll see what happens. I'm okay with a kill spell for the, 1-drop Chocobo. It's not something I hate. I suppose I'll get Tifa in sooner rather than later. Seems to be the right choice. Terramorphic Expanse and get her up to 12. Chocobo go to 5. And we can still push in for a really big chunk of damage here. Go full control mode. Let the counter resolve before we sack. Grab some red, and maybe we have a decent shot. So our opponent pretty low. Got a decent chance here. They may actually be out of kill spells, so we only got one black pip, which is beautiful to see. Yeah, it makes sense they have to discard the card. I mean, I actually could forest so that I could double the counters, but it's the exact same amount of counters as just using Escape Tunnel, so... Bring our opponent to 3, and get a very fortunate surrender. Gets us one step back on the path to progress, and hopefully next game will get us back up into Diamond Tier 3. We're fortunate enough to be on the draw for game number, or on the play for game number 8, I should say. It's a pretty nice hand. It's definitely not the be-all end-all, but it's decently resilient. We have the fetch lands for our Tifas. I definitely don't hate the situation I find myself in. I absolutely despise top-decking lands right now, but it is what it is. Yesterday and today's games have not been the kindest to me draw-wise, but can't blame our losses purely on luck. You know, Magic is a game of chance, and sometimes things don't go our way, but all we can do is try our best to get those chances up. Should grab some white here. See if we can't grab something in the graveyard. We want to push for something big here, because we want to win by turn 4. Another fetch land puts them to 3 life, so we don't actually win before they could potentially Kavero. But we do have Defend the Rider. There are definitely some cards that can help us get a win on turn 4. Traveling Chocobo is 1. That's not exactly it, but that's not the end of the world. I'll go ahead and crack this. Red, we can burn a kill spell, and we can't actually afford to wait a turn because they don't have anything graveyard to hit with Kavero. Totally willing to defend the Rider of the Chocobo. No problems with that at all. Looking pretty darn low. Tap land feels pretty good. Depends what blockers they're able to get. Shouldn't be able to win the game this turn. I mean, they discarded QR, which is nice for them, but that's not bad. Gets them up to 5 life. But I have to win this turn. Bristly Bill, fortunately for us, does appear to be exactly that. We get Tifa to 4, and no matter what they block, we should have just enough to win. Make sure we get our Bristly Bill ability on the stack first. And now we can swing all out. We should have just enough damage to push through for the victory. Amazing game. Absolutely love to see it. Definitely a breath of fresh air after the past couple of games that we've had. But all we can do is keep the mental up, try and keep progressing, and we were fortunate enough to get back into Diamond Tier 3 with enough time for probably one more game, try and propel us through the ranks just that little bit farther. We're on the draw for the last game of the day, but this is absolutely the kind of hand I want to see on the draw. We get a turn 2 threat and a turn 3 protection plus extra protection. I mean, this is a beautiful hand to see, especially on the draw against a combo deck, it looks like. Absolutely love to see it. I think the best choice is to play the Mossborn Hydra, because that has the potential to just win with Chocobo and the Fabled Passage. If we find an untapped land, we can give it Chocobo plus protection. I'd like to play this Hydra, see what kill spells they may or may not have. It's unfortunate if they do, but I don't know what kill spells this deck truly has. Traveling Chocobo is actually really nice to see. I suppose we've seen this in the start, but Forest actually is really nice. I don't love the idea of giving them more opportunity to kill spell than they have. Yes, I'm missing out on a couple of counters this way, but Traveling Chocobo and Fabled Passage still wins the game next turn. And this way I get to keep Defend the Rider up. I will actually Defend the Rider because I do not want that stun counter. I need the Mossborn Hydra to swing in next turn. At least I'd really like it to. Yeah, I'll take the 4. Excuse me. Yawning, getting late. Definitely maybe a little sleepy for this, but well, with the Fabled Passage and Defend the Rider, it's very possible this Hydra can be a victory here. Get up to 32. We have protection for it. Actually able to Shelter by Ghosts and steal, I guess, the Flood Pitch Drowner away. So then hopefully with that Defend the Rider available to us, we'll be in a decent spot. Yeah, we can just Defend the Rider the Hydra. And this is another great, honestly beautiful victory. Propels us to actually having a positive record for today. It's definitely not something I was expecting near the middle of the climb. But we get 1 pip ahead. Unfortunately, we are 4 pips behind even where we were 2 days ago. However, we will get back into it tomorrow, hopefully have some more games like we did at the end of today, and we will have a huge, huge climb at the end of the month to hopefully get us to Mythic. Not much to say about today's climb. Definitely was very, very tilting in some parts, but we did an okay job of keeping our mental up. We were able to keep pushing through, and after we took a little bit of a break, we came back, got a lot luckier for the last 3 games of the day, and we're fortunate enough to pull out just enough victories to get us in the positive for today. We have a lot of progress to make, so hopefully tomorrow will be a positive day, stop us from having to make as big of a climb near the end of the month to finish up the Mythic draft. But we have a day or 2 before that happens. I believe the deck is the finalist, so there's not much to do but play well, get lucky, and win some games.